today, and welcome to our remodeled studios. Last week, while still in our temporary quarters, we had the chance to interview Big Bowl champion Coach Taylor Knight. We took the opportunity, so excuse our rough quarters. But here is the interview.
Thank you for joining, friends and viewers, and welcome to discuss America Now. I'm your co-host, Denise Hill, founder of the magazine Progressive America, and I'm joined by my partner, anchor of Fundamental America, Wendy Foster. Welcome, Wendy.
Thank you. Let's get right to it. We have the head coach of the professional football team, the Michigan Giants, set to join us later. But before we bring him out, why don't you recap for our audience the last few weeks of preseason?
Be glad to. As we know, the Giants are defending Big Bowl champs, but their locker room seems to have more drama than a high school prom as they get ready for the opener. The question is, will these distractions affect focus and performance?
What are those distractions?
The biggest is with quarterback Tommy Vam. The Giants drafted him number 1 upon the adamant request of Coach Knight. Vam announced he's gay and has a controversial Confederate flag tattoo on his throwing arm. How well is that going to sit on a team comprised of mostly African Americans?
And a league as well. I wholeheartedly agree.
No doubt. But yet another huge diversion is the number of players planning to take a knee, as they call it, during the national anthem.
Let's start with the quarterback issue. The Confederate flag goes back to the Civil War. There were a number of states that wanted jurisdiction over certain matters and for Washington not to tell them what to do. The institution of servitude without payment, or worse, slavery, was one of the latitudes that they wanted. President Abraham Lincoln said no, and approximately 600,000 American lives later, we had what we had.
So what if someone wants to commemorate a part of American history?
Correct, except there were certain stipulations after the war's end.
What are we supposed to do? Ban his tattoo like they did Dukes of Hazzard Car? The General Lee? Or like Walmart did by pulling Confederate flags off their shelves?
Now let's understand something. The flag means good things to some Americans and not such good things to others. It's divisive, to say the least. What's to prevent hostilities?
And we're talking locker rooms now. Relations. Teamwork. If one player does something that turns off other players, you have a level breakdown. However, we all have the right to freely express ourselves.
Correct. Certainly something we'll bring up with Coach Knight later this morning. But what about Tommy Vam's announcement?
In addition to being thankful for the opportunity to play with this great team, I wish to say I am proud to have plans to marry my longtime friend, Harry Moore.
Football is majority macho. Let's call it what it is. But let's put down political correctness for a minute. This is going to be a problem, period.
Aside from the fact that guys will be guys, you have the whole dynamic of showers, locker rooms, pre- and post-game interactions. The list goes on.
I don't think guys will be guys should continue to fly. Is that an endorsement of homophobia? Of characterization? Of stereotyping?
It's a statement about the word norm, a word in the dictionary that leads to numbers, majorities, and accepted ways of doing things.
We've got places in the world where the norm is to stone people, to allow rape. North Korea tortures people.
Granted, I'll step out here and speak solely for America. The predominant norm in America includes the concept of one male, one female. Until or unless that paradigm is redefined, any deviation from that will be viewed as such. So, on a football team where the majority of guys fit that mold, there will be difficulties.
Wendy, how do you address this?
I was checking this out because, there's a lot of things happening with police officers nowadays. And I was thinking about the Alaska State Trooper. You know why I like Alaska State Trooper instead of cops? Because Alaska State Trooper, you don't see any black people getting arrested. You know why? It's too cold. We don't do anything in the cold. Crime drops in Chicago because it's cold. Understand? So think about this here. That team that's just not come up, the Michigan Giants, oh, okay. Won the Super Bowl last year, fantastic. Now, how much controversy is going on with them? You got a gay player, but he just came out. He didn't come out the closet. This dude came out the locker room. He was like, forget the little sliding doors, little slide. No, he came busting out the locker room and just said what he is. And then he's got a Confederate flag on his right arm. That's his passing arm. That's going to be interesting. You have a coach that doesn't seem like he's controlling his team, and then you have the black players that want to kneel. Okay, black guy's going to take a knee. That's interesting, and they're not even on the field. This is just taking a knee. Last time I seen a group of black men on their knees, on one knee, we were shooting craps in the back over there on Cedar Street. This locker room, if they manage to pull off and win the Super Bowl, the Big Bowl, then I can see that will be one gay team. I mean, happy team. That's no pun intended. Just, yeah, happy.
And on that note, let us take a break.
I mean, it's funny that you mentioned the kneeling. Like, I think that's a huge topic either way. I feel like that we've had the same conversation for decades in the U.S. In the 60s, we had athletes at the Olympics with gloved hands. We had Muhammad Ali in jail, in the 60s. So the conversation has been happening, but it requires those who have that platform, arts, entertainment, and athletics. I hope that the media doesn't, corrupt the narrative. That these young athletes are protesting the unfair policing of the minority communities. These conversations happen all the time in the minority communities. They don't make it out of the minority communities because we're underrepresented in the places where it could happen, in the media, in politics. But we are represented well in entertainment and athletics, so it requires a certain social responsibility, a social obligation for us to get these conversations started. Because they may start on the gridiron on a Sunday, but they permeate the workplace on a Monday. The conversations are at the water cooler on a Tuesday. And once the conversations are being had, it's going to affect change. It's an inevitability of it. So I feel like more power to those young men.
We're back, everybody. Let's welcome to the show 2016 Big Bowl champion, head coach Taylor Knight.
Welcome, Coach Knight.
Good morning, ladies.
Now, you've got multiple issues burning. A gay quarterback shouting discrimination, a number 1 draft selection of your choice who wears a potentially provocative tattoo,
And players planning to kneel during the national anthem.
Hey, if we can score as many points as we have issues, maybe we can win the game.
Well, you have a jittery front office, jittery fans, and jittery sponsors.
Hell, getting a little jittery myself.
Let's start with Tommy Van.
Well, we tried to accommodate him.
Right?
We offered him his own shower, his own locker.
Isn't that discriminatory?
Depends on who you talk to, I suppose.
A judge did rule that sports teams are expected to provide accommodations suitable to opposite genders on it.
Yes, one judge did. But just like in a public health spa, where persons of opposite genders have separate facilities, so have we been allowed to have separate facilities for opposite genders.
But society's becoming exceedingly more gender neutral. Isn't your team behind the time?
Not at all. Listen, as long as authority is with me on the matter, we shall abide by the judge's ruling.
Let's take a break.
Losing sponsors. We lose sponsors, we lose revenue.
What do you want me to do? I'm just trying to coach a team.
Yes, it is your team. You built it, and you run it. So you listen, Knight. You listen real well. Tell your gay quarterback to shut his mouth about marriage. Tell that knucklehead to erase that damn tattoo. And tell your players to stand for the national anthem.
Damn right this is my team. Damn right I built it.
That damn well I'm going to run out however the damn well I please. Now it's your time to listen, Clark. It's your time to listen real well. My players understand the right to protest. They also understand the right time, right place, and right way to protest. And they fully understand that on the football field during the national anthem ain't the right time, right place, nor the right way to protest. Got it? Hey, Clark. That gay quarterback, the Confederate flag tattooed on that golden throwing arm that everybody's bitching about, he's going to play one hell of a game. I knew what I was doing draft day.
The athletes kind of consider if it's the right venue, because a protest is usually a call for action, a call for change, and and you usually go to your legislator for that, or you start an organization, and having influence, money, and resource, they can definitely start an organization to address whatever issue that they're kneeling for. Because you remember back in the 90s, the DARE program to keep kids off drugs?
Yeah.
And what about Mothers Against Drunk Driving?
Yeah, MAD.
Yeah, those programs were put in place because they were trying to address an issue, right? And they're a lot more effective. Because at the end of the day, kneeling is going to be an old story. And unless anything was done, nothing will ever come from it.
Well, I think all tattoos are a form of art, and it's a personal preference on what somebody puts on their body, so I don't think it's a direct statement or anything.
Okay, very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Our next topic. Is there a problem with tattoos?
Listen, tattoos have taken a grip in society. I'm just trying to coach a football team to a championship.
What about Confederate flag tattoos? Do you think players sporting such would adversely affect sponsorships?
Why are you asking a question of which you already know the answer?
Let's see what Executive Vice President Bruce Clark had to say.
We always appreciate our sponsors and our fans.
Any response?
You can say me and Bruce recently had a meeting of the minds on this. Yeah, that's what it was. Meeting of the minds.
I see. So how do you juggle all of it?
If you only knew.
We take back our offer. Any reason we give will be viewed by the gay community as our team being homophobic, discriminatory.
What the hell does homophobic even mean? I'm afraid of gays?
According to legal, it means having or showing an extreme irrational aversion to homosexuality and homosexual people.
And what the hell does that mean?
That means there'd likely be a sexual discrimination suit.
Well, what about his performance?
Gets messy. Is there a precedent? Have we used the same means to cancel other contracts? Has consideration been exchanged? So on and so forth. You know what? Screw him. He doesn't want his own shower, he's gone. Next problem.
Still got the issue of the alleged tattoo.
Alleged? Haven't you verified?
I coach, sir. With all due respect, I don't go around to my players saying, "Hey, let me look at your tattoo."
You're telling me we don't even know what it is?
I thought it was a good old stars and bars. Right on that golden throne. Yeah, Tommy boy, bring it on home, son. Because the South's gonna do it again. And again.
Seems we need to find out exactly what that tattoo is. And fast.
Why? I always thought it was about winning. Look at Coach Harper up in San Jose. A couple years ago, takes his team to the title game. He's talk of the league, but he didn't win. He couldn't deliver. I got us rings. I got us a title. I'm a winner. For winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. Right? And what the hell is people's problems with history anyways? Black power?
Black Panthers, Nazis, skinheads, Confederates. Who cares? Do they run this country? Whatever happened to game day? Team versus team. Coach versus coach. Pure sports. When did freaking politics bleed into everything from music to sports? What's next?
Why don't you tell me? For I have no flippin' idea.
Neither do I.
The coach. I'm like, is he even a coach? This dude, he can't even, I don't even think he tells his players what to do. His players tell him when they're going in.
Jittery front office, jittery fans, and jittery sponsors.
Star quarterback and top draft pick Tommy Vam is not getting up. Medics rush onto the field.
Knight! You're fired!
Coach, what can I say? Indeed, you surely got your work cut out for you.
It's week 1, and the defending champs were heavily favored to repeat a few weeks ago.
They certainly were, Billy, until everything came crumbling down for Coach Knight. Everything from a gay quarterback with a Confederate flag tattoo to kneeling during the national anthem.
We'll have to see what unfolds when they come out of that tunnel.